Hi everyone, let's take a look at the biggest developments in technology and artificial intelligence. China may block the world's access to its most powerful AI models as the global AI race heats up. OpenAI has officially confirmed the launch of GPT-5.6, with 3 new models arriving this week. Tencent has unveiled an AI model that comes surprisingly close to Gemini 3.5, while costing about 35 times less. All that and more is coming up in this episode, so stay tuned and watch until the end to catch every major story. China is moving to tighten control over its artificial intelligence industry as the country treats advanced AI models as strategic technology. Chinese officials have reportedly spent the past month meeting with leading AI companies, including Alibaba, ByteDance, and Z.AI, to discuss whether some of the country's most capable models should remain freely available outside China. According to Reuters, the talks go beyond ordinary content moderation and focus on limiting overseas access to both existing and future AI systems. Officials are also considering stronger penalties for technology leaks, tighter oversight of AI investments, and new restrictions on who can finance domestic AI startups. While no final decision has been announced, the discussions suggest Beijing increasingly views frontier AI as a national asset rather than simply a commercial product. The debate reflects how quickly Chinese AI has become competitive on the global stage. Models such as DeepSeek R1, Alibaba's Qwen, ByteDance's Daobao, and Z.AI's GLM family have attracted developers because they deliver strong performance at much lower prices than many Western alternatives. GLM 5.2, in particular, has been compared with leading US models while offering significantly lower operating costs. Chinese officials are now asking whether unrestricted international access could allow foreign companies to benefit from technology that Beijing considers strategically important. Reports indicate that the Ministry of Commerce and the National Development and Reform Commission have discussed rules covering both proprietary and open-weight models, which become difficult to control once users download and modify them locally. China's broader AI strategy is also expanding beyond software. Authorities have reportedly examined ways to classify AI technology under national security law and are exploring tighter oversight of exports, ownership, and investment. Recent actions point in that direction. Earlier this year, regulators reportedly increased scrutiny of overseas AI deals involving Chinese companies and investigated several startups that relocated operations abroad. Experts have also proposed a tiered regulatory framework that would allow basic open-source models to remain widely available, while placing more advanced frontier systems under strict security reviews or limiting them to domestic use. Consumer AI platforms are also facing new restrictions. Alibaba and ByteDance have announced that their user-created AI agent services will stop accepting new agents on July 15, 2026, and existing community-created agents will eventually be removed. Users have been advised to save important conversations and configurations before the transition is completed. The timing coincides with new Chinese regulations governing anthropomorphic AI interaction services. Regulators appear concerned that independently created AI agents could operate with too little oversight, making compliance and security more difficult to enforce. China is also investing heavily in AI hardware to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers. Reuters reports that DeepSeek is developing its own inference chip. Unlike training chips, which build AI models, inference chips power the responses users receive when asking questions, generating code, or running AI applications. Because inference represents the largest long-term operating cost for AI services, building domestic hardware could become an important competitive advantage. DeepSeek gained worldwide attention after releasing its efficient R1 model, which challenged assumptions about China's AI capabilities and contributed to a major sell-off in US technology stocks in early 2025. The company has since adapted newer models for Huawei's Ascend processors while reportedly exploring its own chip designs with manufacturing and memory partners. DeepSeek is also said to be preparing an external funding round targeting about $7 billion at a valuation between $52 billion and $59 billion. Security concerns surrounding AI tools continue to grow as well. On July 8th, China's National Vulnerability Database warned that certain versions of Claude code, from 2.1.91 through 2.196, could contain what it described as a serious backdoor risk. According to the warning, the software may transmit sensitive information, including location and identity-related data, to remote servers without user approval. Chinese authorities advised organizations to review affected systems, remove vulnerable versions, or upgrade to secure releases while strengthening network monitoring around development tools. Anthropic did not immediately respond to Reuters regarding the claims. The warning followed reports that Alibaba had already restricted employee use of Claude code because of concerns about features that might identify users connected to China. Another major development came from Chinese startup Moxin Technology, working with a research team led by academician Hunyuan Hy from Zhejiang University. The group introduced MoWorld, which they describe as the world's first real-time interactive world model built entirely on domestic neural processing hardware. According to the developers, the 14 billion parameter system runs at more than 50 frames per second on Huawei's Ascend 910C platform without using NVIDIA hardware. The company says inference costs are roughly 70% lower than comparable GPU-based systems. If those claims are confirmed, the technology could become useful for robotics, autonomous driving, digital twins, architecture, simulation, gaming, and other applications that require interactive virtual environments instead of pre-rendered video. While China strengthens domestic AI capabilities, the United States is preparing another major model release. OpenAI is expected to launch GPT-5.6 on July 9th, after delaying the rollout last month at the request of the US government. Reports indicate that only a limited group of trusted partners received access during the delay, while additional testing took place. The release is expected to include GPT-5.6 Sol alongside Terra and Luna models. The launch also reflects a broader US policy that allows frontier AI developers to voluntarily provide advanced models to government officials for review before public deployment. Anthropic remains part of the same evolving landscape. The company recently extended free access to Fable 5 for another 5 days, allowing users to continue testing the model through July 12th under existing usage limits. Anthropic has also demonstrated that combining its most capable models with smaller, less expensive ones can deliver nearly the same performance at a fraction of the cost. Instead of relying on one powerful model for every task, the company recommends using Fable 5 for complex decisions while assigning routine work to cheaper models. Internal benchmarks suggest that this approach can preserve most of the flagship model's performance while cutting costs substantially. As governments on both sides of the Pacific increase oversight and companies redesign how advanced AI systems are deployed, the global competition is expanding beyond model quality alone. Hardware, regulation, national security, and deployment strategies are becoming just as important as raw performance in shaping the next stage of artificial intelligence development. Tencent has introduced a new AI model called Hunyuan Hy3, and early testing suggests it delivers performance close to Gemini 3.5 while running at a much lower cost. In one comparison, the new model produced results that were nearly on par with Google's system while costing about 35 times less, making it an interesting option for developers who need strong performance without high expenses. The comparison came from AI enthusiasts who asked 4 language models to generate 3 different HTML5 animations with realistic physics. The tasks included a bowling strike, an air hockey match, and the opening break in a game of pool. The goal was to see how well each model could write code that handled collisions, momentum, and object movement, while also measuring the cost of generating that code. According to the test, Hunyuan Hy3 delivered animation quality close to Gemini 3.5 while costing only about $0.006 for the task. Gemini 3.5 produced similar quality, but at roughly 21 cents. GLM 5.2 completed the same work for about 7 cents, while DeepSeek V4 cost around 9 cents, although it produced the weakest overall results in the comparison. The reviewers said Hunyuan Hy3 handled collisions, rebounds, and momentum correctly, creating simulations that closely matched the expected physics. Despite producing results similar to Gemini 3.5, it required only a fraction of the computing cost, making it one of the most cost-efficient models in the test. The comparison also found that GLM 5.2 remains a strong choice for traditional coding tasks, but its performance begins to fall behind when projects require realistic physics simulations. DeepSeek V4, despite using a large number of tokens during generation, finished with the weakest physics performance of the four models, showing that higher token usage does not necessarily translate into better results. Google has expanded the capabilities of its Gemini Spark assistant with a new feature that lets the AI monitor topics on its own and deliver updates without waiting for the user to ask again. Instead of checking for information manually, users can assign the assistant a task, and it will keep watching for changes in the background before sending a report when something important happens. The new system is designed to handle ongoing requests rather than one-time questions. For example, a sports fan can ask Gemini Spark to follow every game played by a favorite football team. After each match, the AI can automatically prepare a summary, analyze the results, and send the report by email without any additional prompts. Google says the feature is intended to save time by keeping users informed as events unfold. Gemini Spark works as a personal AI agent that can stay active around the clock, monitoring selected topics and responding when new information becomes available. Rather than requiring constant interaction, the assistant continues working in the background and delivers updates only when they are relevant. Google believes this approach could make AI more useful for tracking news, sports, projects, and other long-running tasks. For now, the feature is available as a beta release only for Google AI Ultra subscribers in the United States. Google says it plans to expand access to more countries in the near future, although the company has not yet announced a specific rollout schedule. Anthropic has extended access to Claude Fable 5 for users on all paid plans through July 12th, giving subscribers a few more days to use the company's newest AI model. The announcement was made in a post published on July 7th. The company said Claude Fable 5 will remain available until users reach 50% of their weekly subscription limit. After that point, they can either continue using the model by paying with usage credits or switch to another Claude model included with their subscription. This is the second time Anthropic has pushed back the deadline. The company originally planned to keep Fable 5 available until June 22nd, but the model was temporarily removed because of US export restrictions. After it returned, Anthropic first extended access through July 7th and has now moved the date again to July 12th. Anthropic has also said it wants to bring Claude Fable 5 back as a permanent option for paid subscribers. According to the company, that will happen once it has enough computing capacity to support long-term access for all eligible users. Anthropic is bringing Claude Cowork to the web and mobile devices, expanding the AI workspace beyond the desktop. Beta access will roll out over the next several weeks, starting with Mac subscribers before reaching more plans. The update lets users continue the same Cowork session across multiple devices while keeping their work synchronized. Claude Cowork is built to complete tasks rather than simply answer questions. It can work across connected files, calendars, email, messaging apps, web resources, and other tools until a job is finished. Anthropic says more than 90% of Cowork usage is not software development. Most activity focuses on business operations and content creation, including reviewing spending, organizing contracts, and preparing client presentations. Together, those tasks account for about half of all usage. The company says users are giving Claude larger projects that continue in the background even after a laptop is closed. Scheduled tasks no longer require a device to stay online. Claude can review emails, meeting transcripts, and recent news, prepare briefing documents, and draft follow-up emails for approval. If a decision requires the user, Claude sends a notification to their phone. Nothing is sent until the user reviews and approves it. Armand Hosseini from customer success at Ramp said he started building a client dashboard on his laptop and later continued the same session on his phone while waiting for his luggage, with all of the progress preserved. Anthropic says the desktop version still offers the most complete experience because it can access local files and the browser, while the new web version makes Cowork available to more users. Chat and Cowork now share a single homepage, and to celebrate the launch, the company is extending doubled Claude Cowork usage limits through August 5th. A new startup has introduced MemoKet Gem, a small AI-powered wristband designed to record conversations and automatically turn them into organized notes. The device can capture meetings, identify the most important points, and create a task list without requiring users to review everything themselves. The wristband is designed to be worn alongside an Apple Watch using a dedicated attachment. A single press starts recording, and once the conversation ends, the system automatically creates a summary, connects information from previous discussions, definitions and keeps important details linked together so they are easier to find later. MemoKet Gem also works with popular services, including ChatGPT, Claude, Notion, Slack, Gmail, and calendar apps. According to the developers, the device can record for up to 20 hours on a single charge while weighing only 11 grams, making it light enough to wear throughout the day. OpenAI will release GPT-5.6, its most advanced AI model yet, on Thursday after delaying the launch last month at the request of the US government over national security concerns. The new lineup includes the flagship GPT-5.6 Sol, along with the lower-cost Terra and Luna models. The delay came as US officials reviewed the risks of releasing increasingly powerful AI systems. Experts have warned that advanced models could accelerate sophisticated cyber attacks, while the growing AI competition between the United States and China has led both governments to tighten oversight of frontier AI technologies. According to Axios, the Trump administration approved OpenAI's public rollout after additional testing and meetings with company executives. Before the launch, GPT-5.6 was available only to a small group of vetted partners whose identities were shared with US authorities. OpenAI first previewed GPT-5.6 in late June, highlighting stronger agent capabilities in coding, biology, and cybersecurity. The company also said GPT-5.6 Sol performed competitively with Anthropic's Mythos preview on the Exploit Bench cybersecurity benchmark. The release follows recent restrictions on Anthropic's Mythos 5 and Fable 5 models, which were temporarily suspended under a US export control order before returning with additional safeguards. Anthropic's cybersecurity-focused Mythos model remains available only to selected trusted US organizations. The AI race continues to speed up. Elon Musk announced that SpaceX AI is also making its Grok 4.5 model publicly available, while President Donald Trump recently signed an executive order allowing the US government to review certain frontier AI models for up to 30 days before they are released to trusted partners. Meta has introduced Muse Image, a new generative AI model that the company describes as its first agentic image creation system. Unlike traditional image generators that only respond to a text prompt, Muse Image can search for useful visual references on its own and even use code when needed to produce more accurate results. The model has already performed well in the Arena benchmark, where it ranked second overall, finishing behind only GPT-Image 2. The results suggest that Meta's latest image model is competitive with the strongest AI image generators currently available. Muse Image can edit pictures using natural language instructions, combine several reference images into a single composition, and preserve small visual details during the editing process. It can also take context from Instagram into account when generating images, allowing it to produce results that better match a user's content and style. For now, Muse Image is available through Meta AI in a limited number of countries. Meta says it plans to expand access over time and eventually integrate the model into Instagram and WhatsApp, bringing its image generation and editing capabilities directly into those apps. OpenAI has confirmed that its new GPT-5.6 family will officially launch on July 9th, following nearly 2 weeks of limited testing. The release will introduce 3 versions of the model, Sol, Terra, and Luna, which were previously available only to a small group of selected partners. The company says the public rollout will begin on Thursday, giving developers and users access to its newest generation of AI systems. The launch was delayed after the US government requested additional reviews of the technology. According to Axios, the models underwent further evaluation by the US Department of Commerce before receiving approval for a wider release. Officials reportedly wanted more time to assess whether increasingly powerful AI systems could present national security risks or be misused in ways that existing safeguards might not fully address. During the restricted testing period at the end of June, OpenAI provided access only to carefully vetted organizations. Reports said the list of companies allowed to use GPT-5.6 was reviewed individually in coordination with US authorities. The temporary limits were part of an effort to evaluate the model's capabilities and safety before making it broadly available. The GPT-5.6 family includes 3 versions named Sol, Terra, and Luna, although OpenAI has not yet released detailed information about how the models differ or which tasks each version is designed to handle. More technical details and availability are expected to be announced as part of the official launch. The release comes as competition among leading AI companies continues to accelerate. Major developers are introducing more capable language language models, while governments are paying closer attention to how advanced AI technologies are deployed. OpenAI's decision to complete additional government-requested testing before the public launch reflects the growing focus on balancing rapid AI development with security and oversight. With the public rollout now confirmed, GPT-5.6 will become OpenAI's latest flagship AI family available to a broad audience. After the delayed launch and extended review process, users will soon be able to access Sol, Terra, and Luna, marking the company's next major step in expanding its portfolio of advanced language models. That's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.